It's the end of the day. You are a busy mom. Maybe you're a physician mom, and your entire body just feels tight and stiff, and you're wondering, is this how life is going to be for the rest of my life? Am I always just going to feel like this physically and mentally? Today, I have a 5-minute stretch that even in 5 minutes, you can feel incredible, both mentally and physically. All right, so we're going to hop back to the mat. First pose is a child's pose. It's a super simple pose, but something that is incredible in so many ways. So toes together, knees apart, let your bum sink down. And if you are trying to do this and you're like, hey, Dr. Sarah, like already this is feeling like I can't do it, I'm so tight, that's okay. It's showing up, doing what you can today in a way that feels good for you, and just keep showing up and trying. Because I actually have a client who, when we started together, could not even get into this position comfortably. She was, having a hard time with her hips and she couldn't hold it for very long. And now, 9 or 10 weeks later, she is fully into a child's pose, forehead on the mat, and she, most importantly, loves it. She loves sitting in it. It feels relaxing and comfortable. And that's what I want for you too. Because that's how I was, where I would get to the end of a day and feel like, oh my gosh, is this really me and my body? Where is the body that I once had? And it's about slow, consistent, steady showing up. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be super sweaty or a sports bra. It can be simple and gentle and still effective. And then over time, as you get stronger, you can layer in other things, other activities that you maybe want to get to or do, or all of that. But it's also about building this foundation in a non-judgmental, non-intimidating way. So I should have said I sort of stretched my arms out. I'm keeping my head up just for video purposes, but you can also, like I talked about that client, you can let your forehead go down. And you want to really think about letting your chest and your armpits almost not collapse, but sort of fall into the mat. So you're getting a low back opening, you're getting a hip stretch, you're getting like a side body lat stretch. You can even do a little bit of rotation of your shoulders to get a little bit more into that axillary area. And always making sure you're breathing. With any stretching, deep breathing is incredible and essential. I talk about 360 breathing all the time. I will link some of my 360 breathing videos below. So a quick explanation, you do a big inhale where your ribs expand in all directions. That's where it gets the name 360, so forward, sideways, and back. You can also let your pelvic floor relax. And then on an exhale, your pelvic floor contracts, your ribs knit back together. Your abs are tight like a corset. So with stretching, a lot of times I'm also incorporating that 360 breathing, which can turn really any stretch also into a little bit of a deep core ab workout. Okay, we're gonna add in a twist here. Some people will call this thread the needle. So I'm taking my left arm in between my right hand and my right knee and just slowly lowering onto the floor. You can rest your head. You can use this right hand just for support. So this adds in now another upper body layer with your shoulder blade. And again, just doing that breathing. So when you're stretching, thinking about on the inhale and the exhale, really sending the breath to that area that is feeling tight, that you're stretching. And with stretching, you never want to do anything that is painful. It can often be uncomfortable, especially with things like hips and shoulders. But if it's painful, that's a sign to stop. And I know today it might feel like, oh my gosh, Dr. Sarah, we are holding these stretches for a long time. That's on purpose. Stretching can be physically uncomfortable, but sometimes I almost think, especially for physician moms, it's almost more mentally uncomfortable because we are so used to going full throttle, huge to-do list, getting through it all, taking care of everyone. And then when you sit down to do something like this, where it's like, okay, I'm just going to sit and stretch and hold stretches for a minute or longer, it can feel very foreign. But as you practice it, you'll notice that it starts to feel amazing. So I switch sides here. So now I have my right arm through my left hand and left knee. And again, just letting your body sink into the stretch. So if you're new here, subscribe. If you watch my videos and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It helps the channel get to more people, which is amazing. The whole reason why I started creating this channel was just to show that movement can be simple and doable. It doesn't always have to be intimidating or feel judgmental or be like super sweaty, and a lot of times that feels unattainable for moms, I think, especially. And so sometimes it can be easy to have that all or none thinking, well, if I can't do that, I'm just going to do nothing. And so it's all about, there can be a middle ground. It can be gentle, and also your definition of exercise can evolve and change over time, which it took me years to figure out, but it doesn't always have to be the same definition. You can adjust it. Okay, now I'm gonna lay onto my back. So what I was saying about subscribing, the channel shows that most people that watch my videos are actually not subscribed, which was surprising to me. So if you're watching, subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a video. Okay, so now I am on my back. I'm bringing my knees to my chest just for like a few seconds here. Sometimes I'll also rock back and forth. This can be like a nice little massage for your low back. And then I'm going to get my knees into a 90-degree position, and I'm just gonna rotate them over to my left. Simultaneously, I'm gonna use my left hand to hold that. I'm running out of room here, but then you let your right arm extend out in a T, and you turn to look over that right shoulder. So with this, you're getting a full body stretch here. You have that chest opener on the right. You're getting an amazing low back and thoracic twist, rotation, a lot of stretch there. And then you can also be getting a glute stretch with the legs. And with each inhale, really think about expanding those ribs. And with the exhale, think about getting a millimeter or two deeper into that rotation, into the stretch. Stretching is not about yanking or anything aggressive. It's slow, controlled, easing into length. Awesome. And I think stretching is a majorly underrated form of movement. I think it can support your body in so many ways, mentally and physically. Okay, so then you bring your knees back up to center. I sometimes will reposition depending on where my mat is, and then it's knees up and then over to the right. And this time, now your left arm is out to the side and you turn your head that direction. So you're getting, again, that rotation, low back, thoracic. You're getting that chest opener here. Amazing. When I was younger, was a competitive swimmer, and I used to, of course, we had stretching as part of the workout occasionally. And then even when I did like track and things in high school, I remember as a young athlete just kind of blowing off stretching, to be honest. In all honesty, it was like, this feels like a waste of time. Why am I even doing this? I never really understood the benefit and how important recovery is. Until I started to get older and start to have some of these aches and pains and things that pop up, and injuries, and then pregnancies and postpartum, and your body goes through all of these wild transformations. And when I found stretching, I found that it really supported my body through all of those transitions. in a way that I was able to move in a way that I wanted to. I felt better. I was able to do things like get up and down off the floor with my kids, sit cross-legged comfortably, which had been a problem like after my first baby because I had so much hip tightness. And it just was incredible. And then when I started movement coaching, I had one of my very first clients had a similar situation. She was a competitive athlete growing up and sort of was like, is stretching really going to do anything? Like, should I really do it? And that's what we decided to start with. And she started with doing 5 minutes of stretching a day. And after like a week or two, she said, Dr. Sarah, I cannot believe how different my body feels. Like, I did not know how much tightness I have, and now I'm addicted. Like, I'm so in. And that's what stretching can do. When you start to see how even with just a few minutes your body feels better, you will start to be like, ooh, what can I do now? How can I do more? It's amazing. Okay, so then you can come back to center, and we're gonna do one final stretch. Just get comfortable here. So here I'm gonna let my legs just fall open to the side. So there's a stretch. I will also link this video below called Frog, which is a similar, stretching a similar area. So it's like that inner thigh area. But this stretch, Frog, can be very challenging if you have not done a lot of hip stretching. I remember the first time I did it, I was massively pregnant, and it was like, oh my goodness, this stretch is challenging. And so it definitely, with practice, you can build up to it. So I will link to, I think I have a video on it. I'll link to it below. But this is a nice beginner version of that, where you can sort of ease into that groin hip opening, which can be almost confronting at times because of how uncomfortable the stretching can feel. Again, it should never be painful, but discomfort can sometimes happen. And so here you just really want to use your mind to think about letting those knees fall to the floor. And it does make a difference, because if you're just sitting there talking like I am, and then when you take that pause to intentionally let gravity open everything up, let those knees fall open, that's when you really get your bang for your buck here. And we're just going to stay here for a minute. So if you are that physician mom that is feeling maybe lost after having a baby, whether you are a couple months postpartum to years postpartum, and you've had exercise on your to-do list for a long time, but it's been challenging to figure out how to fit it in, what to do, and your decision fatigue is real. I've been there. I've had clients that have been there where it's just another thing to think about, and you want all those benefits, but you just don't know how to get there. And you did this stretch with me and you're thinking, wow, how do I get more of that? How can I do that? What should I do next? Definitely sign up for a free movement coaching session, a consult with me to kind of talk more about what that transformation could look like for you, and where you come out on the other side of working with me, where it feels lighter, movement feels joyful, you're passionate about it, you are feeling stronger and more confident, you know what to do and how to do it, and it feels accessible and doable, but also effective at the same time. And most importantly, you feel like yourself again. You feel reconnected and joyful and excited and mentally and physically energized and alive. Because that's what I want for you. I want that for everyone that was like me, that after my first daughter, things just felt so hard and isolating, and I felt like I didn't know what to do or how to do it, and I was just too tired to figure it out. And everywhere I looked, everything felt so intimidating and not accessible, and like it was not for me. Like it wasn't made for someone like me, that I couldn't do it. And that's why I'm here doing what I'm doing. Awesome. And like I said, definitely subscribe, ring the bell. If this is your jam and you're like, how do I work with Dr. Sarah? I want more of this. Definitely sign up for that free movement consult. Okay. Because it can be just a few minutes a day. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be gentle. It can be doable.
You can have your hair a mess, you can be in your pajamas, it all counts, and you can still, you will feel amazing physically and mentally in just a few minutes. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for you watching, for moving with me. All right, bye everyone.